My name is David Bouchot, and I attended my first protest last Tuesday in Marac Hall. It was fun. It was a great time, if you guys were there. But that's not why I'm here. On Thursday night, as you guys probably know, we set up an encampment of about 25 tents right in the center of that quad. We had a kitchen, it was clean, we had garbage cans, it was easy to walk through the camp, we had study parties, there were people playing music. It was the safest, most welcoming environment I'd ever been in. And then at noon the next day, we got a letter from Chancellor Katehi saying, "This is unsafe, you have to leave by 3 o'clock. She didn't say any reason why it was unsafe. So we put our heads together and we said, if you want to leave, you can leave. And you know, five people broke down their tents and they left. And that's fair because it actually wasn't their tents and they didn't want to get their tents broken. You know, so we talked about it and we decided to stay. And my friends and I, we drew a hopscotch, an epic hopscotch down the sidewalk. And then someone ran up yelling, "Riot police." Yelling, "Riot police, riot police." And we didn't know what to do. It happened so fast. We threw all our stuff into the middle of the circle, we held hands, and we started chanting because we didn't know what to do. People were walking by, they started videotaping with cameras. The cops came up. The police officer yelled something, we couldn't hear it. I'm assuming it was an order to disperse. We kept chanting. They went into the circle without any incident. They started breaking down the tents. They started pulling my friends from that circle and throwing them on the ground and putting them in handcuffs and dragging them away. At that point, there was no more encampment. There was no more stuff there. We were just kids sitting down in a circle singing. But the cops didn't leave. They did not leave. There were 150 people or so watching us. We yelled, "Join us, join us." And in the proudest moment of my life, those kids came to us and they sat down in that circle with us. They joined us. But it wasn't over, because the cops kept picking kids out, throwing them on the ground, and arresting them. They put them in a circle just south, right over there. And I saw my friends lying on the ground, surrounded by cops in riot gear, and I thought, this is not right. This is not okay. We're kids. We're just kids. And so, me and a dozen of my friends went, and we sat just south of those cops. We sat down. Eventually, let me cut to the chase, because I'm sure there are other people that want to speak. A police officer came to us and he said, "If you guys don't move, we're going to shoot you." So we turned around. There were two police officers with paintball guns pointed point blank behind us. That officer probably realized that shooting us in the back would have looked bad and would have been not that effective. So, and I'm told at this point, behind us, he shook up the pepper spray and he held it up for the crowd to see. I had no idea this was going to happen. Someone yelled, "Oh my God, pepper spray," and I closed my eyes. My girlfriend, my arm was around my girlfriend and I kissed her on the cheek. My friends buried their faces into their chest, and then it happened. And then at that point I entered a world of pain. It felt like hot glass was entering my eyes. I couldn't see anything. I wanted to open my eyes, but every time I did, the pain got worse. I wanted to breathe, but I couldn't because my face was covered in pepper spray, and every time I breathed, I was nauseous. I couldn't see anything. I could feel my friends and my girlfriend writhing in pain. I wanted to cover her face, but I couldn't because my hands were covered in pepper spray. I didn't know where the police were. I didn't want to stand up because I thought I would be arrested. I was afraid. I was no longer a protester. I was an object. And that's what the police officer wanted to turn us into. But we sat there and we didn't move. I was paralyzed with fear, and that's the truth. I was paralyzed with fear. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm probably rambling on at this point. Okay, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say here, this is what I'm trying to say. If you guys know what happened in the last 2 protests, not a single student was violent ever. Not a single student resisted arrest. Not a single one! And so I ask you guys, out of respect for me and my friends who sat there and allowed a police officer to point blank spray pepper spray into our face 3 times while we looked him into the face, do not choose the path of violence. Our best weapon is the path of violence. Their only weapon is violence. That is why we will prevail. That is why we must prevail. I want us to take back this university, brick by brick, and we will do it with dignity and respect.
Hi. My name is